If we concentrate all our efforts on implementing the sanctions properly, we could achieve more results, which is weakening Russia. We see their economy in a very dire straits. So we shouldn't overestimate the power of Russia. We should not underestimate our own power.
Will the European Union be able to step up its military and financial support if the US under Donald Trump pulls out?
Of course, the European Union has been the biggest supporter of Ukraine, and we intend to do so. And we also intend to talk to our American allies why it's in their interest to also invest in Ukraine's security. Ukraine aid is not charity, it's investment into our own security, and I think it's also in the interest of the United States. If we look at the bigger picture, we see North Korea, Iran, China, Russia working together. We see the North Korean soldiers now also recruited by Russia in the fight in Ukraine. So if US is concerned about emboldening China, then they should first also deal with Russia. In all the places, Russia is their biggest adversary.
But if the financial support of the US ends in January, and with Germany having elections and basically no leadership for the foreseeable future, what is the plan of the European Union to speed up support to Ukraine?
Of course, it's challenging, it's clear, but we also need to discuss how we can proceed with the use of frozen assets, because it's clear that, we have the Russian frozen assets, and it's clear that Russia is causing all the damages to Ukraine, so it should be also Russia that pays for those damages. So we need to also have those discussions, because there are the funds that should go to the use of Ukraine.
When you were Prime Minister of Estonia, it was a bit easier for you to support Ukraine because you represented a country that was already really supportive. Right now, you represent 27 countries, and we see what's happening in Romania. Do you think that the situation in Romania and Hungary and Slovakia will actually hamper your ability to promise something to Ukraine and to your allies of the European Union?
Well, supporting Ukraine has been a unified position of 27 member states around that table in European Union. So, of course, working for the unity is challenging, and there are many obstacles on the way, because we are 27 different democracies, and democracies, decision-making takes time. But I'm overall optimistic that we have managed to keep the unity. Everybody agrees supporting Ukraine, and we have to work for this to be the case also in the future.
In terms of military production, did the European Union already deliver 1 million shells? And what's the plan for 2025 in terms of military support?
Yes, this 1 million rounds of shells have been delivered, but of course, as we know here, we had a lot of meetings today. It's not enough. More needs to be done. I think also the investments to Ukrainian defense industry are very, very welcome, that these things are produced here and immediately used as well. So we are thinking about different initiatives, how we can more support and help Ukraine.
So there's no number for 2025 yet?
No, there is no actual number yet, but I think it's important we know your needs, and of course it's not enough what we are producing. So we need to really speed up the process of producing more. We have a new Commissioner for Defense. We tend to work with him very closely, how we can do this, how we can find also new financing to speed up the process. So there is the political will to do it.
In terms of sanctions, on November 21st, the US sanctioned a lot of banks from Russia, and we saw what happened to the Russian currency. But still, we see that Russia is selling oil and gas to China and India. We see that European and American chips end up in Russian rockets and missiles. What can the European Union do in terms of sanctions to actually stop this?
First, in March, there will be entered into force the criminalization of circumvention of sanctions. I think this is a good thing. Also a signal to everybody not to circumvent sanctions. But I agree with you. There is so much more we have to do to make sure that these sanctions are really followed. What I want to stress is that we also see the sanctions working. But if we concentrate all our efforts on implementing the sanctions properly, we could achieve more results, which is weakening Russia. We see their economy in a very dire straits. If you think about the interest of Russian bank is 21%. Their national fund is completely depleted. They can't get the revenues from the gas that they used to get. And they have a very difficult situation with the employment market because everything is going to the military industry. So we shouldn't overestimate the power of Russia, and we should not underestimate our own power.
What will the European Union do if the US says that Ukraine must negotiate with Russia and freeze the conflict on the current front lines?
Well, it's up to Ukraine to decide. Right now, it is our obligation to support Ukraine so that strengthen your position in the battlefield. The stronger Ukraine is on the battlefield, the stronger Ukraine is around the negotiation table.
Thank you everyone for watching. The Kyiv Independent recently turned 3 years old. As an organization covering the war in Ukraine, from Ukraine, we heavily rely on our members for support. The Kyiv Independent is not going to be able to produce this kind of journalism without your support. If you would like to become a member, please click on the link below. Thank you.